Once upon a time, in a quiet village on the edge of a forest, there lived a widow with her two daughters. The elder, Clarice, was her mother's mirror image, proud, vain, and sharp-tongued. The younger, Marianne, was gentle, patient, and kind-hearted, much like her late father. Their cottage was humble, with ivy creeping up the stone walls and a small garden that Marianne tended every day. Though they were poor, the air around their home smelled of rosemary and thyme. But inside, there was no peace. The widow doted on Clarice, praising her every word and excusing every cruelty. Clarice wore ribbons and lace even when there was hardly bread on the table. Marianne, in contrast, wore plain, mended dresses and did all the chores. Her mother constantly scolded her. "Stop daydreaming, Marianne. You'll never be anything but a servant if you keep your head in the clouds." But Marianne never answered back. She had learned long ago that kindness was the only armor a poor girl could afford. One blazing summer afternoon, the widow discovered there was no water left. "Marianne, go to the well beyond the orchard. Take the large jug and don't dawdle." The well was nearly a mile away, down a dusty, briar-lined path. Marianne tied a kerchief over her hair and set out, the heavy jug weighing down her arms. "Few hearts are pure enough to serve a stranger so selflessly," she said. As she spoke, her form shimmered and changed. Instantly, she was no longer a beggar, but a radiant fairy. Marianne gasped in awe. "Forgive me, I didn't know. You have nothing to apologize for, child," the fairy said kindly. "Because of your goodness, from this day forward, every word you speak will become a gift. Flowers and jewels shall fall from your lips, the reflection of the beauty in your heart." Before Marianne could thank her, the fairy vanished like mist. Trembling, the girl lifted her jug and hurried home. Her mother and sister were waiting, irritable and impatient. Finally, "Did you fall asleep at the well?" "I'm sorry," muttered as she spoke. Diamonds and rose petals fell from her lips. The two women froze in astonishment. Heavens above, jewels, flowers? "Say more, child, say more." Marianne explained what had happened, and with every gentle word, pearls, sapphires, and blossoms spilled onto the floor. The widow's eyes shone with greed. "Clarice, go to that well at once. Do exactly as your sister did. We'll be twice as rich." Clarice wrinkled her nose at the thought of the long walk, but the sight of the jewels changed her mind. "You would deny water to one who thirsts? I'm no one's servant. I came for my own business." The fairy's eyes darkened. "Then you shall be rewarded according to your heart." Clarice scoffed and turned away. But when she arrived home, her mother rushed to meet her. "Well, my darling, did you meet her? Some old fool asked me for water." But I told her. Before she could finish, a toad leapt from her mouth, followed by another, then a snake. Clarice screamed. Every angry word produced more slimy creatures until the house was filled with croaks and hisses. "Stop it," cried the widow. Terrified, she turned on Marianne. "You've cursed your sister." "No, mother, get out. Both of you bring me nothing but misery." She drove Marianne away in her fury. The poor girl packed nothing and walked out as the sun began to set. As Marianne walked, tears blurring her eyes, a royal carriage approached. Inside sat a prince, returning from a hunt. Seeing a young woman alone, he ordered the driver to stop. "Are you in trouble, fair maiden?" "No trouble, my lord, only sorrow." As she spoke, pearls and lilies fell from her lips. The prince was astonished. "What miracle is this?" He stepped down from the carriage and spoke with her. Enchanted by her goodness, he said, "Come with me. My father must meet the maiden whose words are jewels." Every word she spoke released toads and snakes. Even her mother could no longer bear it. "You've brought shame and misery on us both. Leave this house and never return." Clarice fled into the woods, cursing her fate, but each curse only birthed another toad. She vanished at last, and villagers whispered that her voice still echoes in the croaking of frogs by the old well. The widow, crushed by guilt, lived out her days clutching her fated treasures. One cold winter's night, she was found dead beside the hearth, a handful of dull gems in her hand, the last remnants of her greed. Years passed. Under the gentle rule of the prince and his fairy-blessed queen, the kingdom flourished. Whenever the queen spoke, no jewels fell anymore instead. Her words brought hope and light to every heart. One day the king said, "My love, you've changed this land." She smiled. "Not I alone. Kindness spreads like sunlight. It warms every heart it touches." Their children grew up humble and wise, following the same path of generosity. And though the fairy was never seen again, the queen often sensed her nearby in the faint scent of roses on the breeze, a reminder that true grace needs no reward, for goodness itself is magic enough. Because beauty fades and wealth crumbles, but a kind heart shines forever. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a like and consider subscribing for more tales that explore the depths of the human heart. We'll see you in the next video.